Despite being occupied by so many foreign powers, Mandalay has reinvented itself as the cultural capital of Myanmar. 5, 6, 7, 8. Rock and roll! Puppets! Yes. Mandalay is known for preserving the art puppetry. It's been in effect for at least 700 years, but it was really in the 1800s that this was the most popular form of entertainment. They were the great storytellers of their day. Like the rest of Burmese culture, its puppet shows are steeped in Buddhist fables, legends, and folk tales. Traditionally, a marionette show would last all night, but these days the tourists just get the highlights. The shows were not only used to teach these stories, but the specific movements of these puppets have been imitated by people over the centuries and are now incorporated in traditional Burmese dance. Hello, you must be Mama Nai, yes?
Hi, hello. Good morning.
I'm meeting Mama Nai, who first started this theater as a way to interact with tourists and practice her English. She tells me how the puppets were used to communicate both the historical legends and the country's current affairs. These are your beautiful puppets.
Yes, the puppet troops always travel from town to town, and the puppeteers gather information, even the latest scandal.
Even the latest scandal?
Yes.
Wow.
So
did they put that gossip into the show,
yes.
and so that's how information spread, was through these puppets?
Marionettes became real men and women acting in real life dramas because each marionette was possessed by the spirits of its manipulator.
While she tells me this history, her puppet is still like talking to me as well. Everything she's saying, this puppet is acting.
Yeah.
Mama Nai has agreed to give me a quick lesson in making these amazing puppets come to life.
This handle must be on the index finger.
Okay.
It must be, no, it must be here.
No, you're laughing at me. This is my first day, lady. Give me a break.
You have to take this leg string to dance here, like this. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Your puppet doesn't look.
No, I'm very sorry, spirit of the puppet.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
This is incredible what you've done.
I'm too much sweating.
That's okay, me too. It's hard work being a puppet master. Too hard for me. So tonight I've opted for a different form of entertainment, comedy. It wasn't just puppets that were used as a clandestine communication weapon. There were 3 brothers belonging to a 3rd generation of comedians that used doing political satire. That is until they were put on the blacklist for performing.
Why you are Burma here? Please take care. I request, please don't take anything. Please don't steal anything. Government, they don't like competition. Yeah.
In 1996, 2 of the trio, Papa Lay and Lu Zhao, were arrested and put in a forced labor camp.
Papa Lay, 3 times in the slum.
Papa Lay.
Their arrest gained international publicity. Activists, filmmakers, and Hollywood movie stars all campaigned for the military government to release them.
4 years ago, we had over 2,000 political prisoners. Now over 1,000 released.
The pressure paid off.
Geneva understand. She's my secret lover. Don't tell my wife, okay?
The show is still officially banned in public, and the trio are now well known as dissidents.
I like Obama. Obama kiss our leader. If you come to Burma, please don't come alone. You bring your wife. First lady, bring here. I want revenge. Yeah. Pay it back. Not chicken. Lip kiss. Yeah. Dawn San Suu Kyi visit our house. She watched my performance. 2002. That's my brother Papa Lay.
Papa Lay.
Yeah, number 1 mustache Papa Lay.
Number one mustache, Papa Lay.
Papa Lay.
Okay, let's know, why did he go to jail? Why?
Satire and the slapstick.
Yes. So he made so many jokes
Yes.
about the life that they put him in prison. Why didn't you go to prison?
I stay here. I watch my family, no more, holding the food down here.
I want to know
Yeah.
how, when you live such a difficult time, a very scary time, how come everybody's still laughing and smiling?
This comedian
How?
heart.
Why?
Comedian heart.
Comedian's heart.
Yeah.
I'm now heading into the Chin state, which borders India and Bangladesh, visiting the hilltop town of Mindat. The Chin state is one of the least developed areas of the country, and travel here was restricted until recently. I'm traveling the only way possible, by four-wheel drive. Even today, you still need a special permit from the government, and to get one, you need to travel with a registered guide. Mr. Saw is the go-to person for the Chin state, and knows most people in the area, which is key to getting a real sense of the culture here. You can now visit almost all the Chin state, but Mindat is one of the more accessible towns, and that's saying something. The town is spread out across the side of a hill and is spectacular. The Chin state has a population of 1.5 million people, but they're broken down into 52 different subgroups, 12 of whom you can get to know here in Mindat. I'm meeting people from a couple of the more distinctive ones.
This is one of the lady.
Yes?
She is playing the flute,
Yeah.
but it's the last generation for their tribe.
How did it play?
Oh, by nose.
By her nose?
Yeah.
News. Ooh.
That was beautiful. I'm not glad for you. How old was she when she started playing?
18.
And she was 18.
18.
And what Chin tribe is she?
It's Makan.
Naka.
It's the same as your name. Similar.
I can try? Yes?
Yeah.
I can't do it. Are you impressed? I think I have to leave it to the professionals. There are actually chronicles from China from the 8th century that tell of the Tiur people, and especially note that their women had tattooed faces. One thing that is incredible about visiting this area is that aspects of their lives have not changed in centuries. These women are all from the Moon tribe, distinguished by the half-moon shapes on their cheeks. Mr. Saw said I was invited to dinner, but I didn't realize it meant I would do part of the cooking. It looks like we're cooking a beef dish with lots of flavor to it. There's ginger, garlic. She's taking my job away because she's dissatisfied, I do believe, with my garlic peeling efforts. And some kind of herb. I don't know what that is. Prep done, ingredients in the pan. Now it's time to relax. What kind of wine is this?
Made of millet.
Millet wine? Oh! Legend states that the women first started tattooing their faces to make themselves unattractive as protection from slavery and for identification if they were
Okay.
captured. It's very sweet and very strong. Their perception has changed significantly over the years. This symbol, does this mean something? The shape?
Like the spot and the line here, it depends on how wishes.
Why did she do the tattoos? Or why do they?
They thought that they are pretty
Yeah.
face.
Yeah. How old are they when they have the tattoo the first time?
At the age of 10 years,
At 10 years old. Yes? Do they still give the tattoo to their children?
they doesn't want their future generation no more tattoo on our face, no more heart.
After a few too many wines, it's now time for some music and dancing. Then it's time to enjoy the spoils of our labor. The dining etiquette around here seems to be that you will eat, whether you want to or not. They all just, they started putting food in people's mouth. For me, I eat it. Uncle. Whoa, that's delicious. Your turn.
What done? Ooh.
Then it's dance until you drop. It's another long four-wheel drive journey to reach my next destination. That looks like more fun on these bumpy roads. I'm heading to the site of the famous ancient civilization, Bagan. Bagan is a top visitors destination in Myanmar. Now, to see the place, you can take an air-conditioned minibus, which is understandable because it can be over 100 degrees in the heat. Or, if you really want to get lost, you can take one of these. You are my guide, yes?
Yes, my name is Mimin.
Mimin, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Let's
Shall
go.
we? Hello.
Hello.
Mingalaba.
Mingalaba.
Ooh.
From the 9th to 13th centuries AD, this was the capital of the Kingdom of Pagan. It was actually the first kingdom to unite the country. Buddhism first took hold in the 11th century, when the king was captivated by the Buddhist teachings brought over from Sri Lanka. He gave all his subjects an ultimatum: convert to Buddhism or leave the kingdom. Bagan is now home to the largest concentration of Buddhist temples in the world, despite the fact that in the 13th century, the Mongols, led by Kublai Khan, invaded and destroyed much of the surrounding area. For many years, people lived here, just among these incredible pagodas and temples.
Yes, you are right. The olden day, all the people are living around this area.
How many temples are here, all in all?
2,200 something pagodas are still standing up here.
Only 2,000. That's all. That's not many. That's a lot.
The olden day, almost over 4,000.
Were all of these built by the king?
Not only kings, some are made by the queens and their royal family. The other small pagodas and temples are made by normal people.
That was a thing of honor to build a temple?
Yes.
It's a pretty magical place to live.
Yeah, you can imagine, yes.
Ananda is an outstanding example of Bagan's architecture. Rich in decorative detail, this temple even has two original standing wooden images of Buddha from the 11th century. That is incredible. Wow.
Beautiful one.
Very beautiful. Everybody loves this one.
Sure.
Everybody's here to see.
That's one big kid.
This is extraordinary. Visible from all over Bagan, Damayanji is the largest and one of the most famous temples here.
There was an earthquake in 1975. All the monument was collapsed. But this one, no collapsed. The king, he doesn't want any gap between the two bricks. And he made strong decision to his worker. If he sees some gap, he will cut all the fingers of the worker.
Are you serious? If he sees a
very
gap
serious. Yes.
off with your fingers?
Yes. During the construction time, the king died. The worker, they didn't continue to complete the temple.
And nobody came in to finish it. So it's original as it was
Yes.
in the 12th century?
Yes, 12th century. Yes. The UNESCO protected this one because of the most important pagoda in Bagan.
Original or restored, these temples are an incredible legacy of the rise of Buddhism in Myanmar. Traveling around Myanmar has been intense, so I'm heading 600 miles south for some R&R at the coastal town of Thonway. groups migrating from northern India, the Rakhine state has its own cultural identity.
Aside from a brief period where the Rakhine fell under the dominance of Bagan, this was an autonomous region until independence. People here don't consider themselves Burmese.
But I'm here for Nepali Beach, and what better way to travel than by boat? This part of the coastline is set on the Bay of Bengal, and the entire area is dotted with small fishing villages. It is still developing, but with nearly 1,400 miles of coastline in this country, I'm sure the feeling of being in a secluded haven will be sustained for a while yet.
The thing about Myanmar having been so shut off for so long is that places like this are still relatively unspoiled. Apparently the most developed part, and it still looks pristine to me.